Welcome to the gaming news of the week. This week we have some news about Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut. Due to the huge mess caused by the requirement of a PSN account on Steam for Helldivers 2, Sucker Punch has confirmed that Ghost of Tsushima can be enjoyed without a PlayStation account. However, if players do not connect to PSN, they will not be able to access the multiplayer mode. Ghost of Tsushima contains two modes, either the campaign with Jin Sakai or the multiplayer format Legends, where you can slash with friends in a co-op PvE game mode. While the main campaign won't require a PSN account, you will need to link your account on Steam with PSN if you want to experience the multiplayer mode. Unfortunately, despite the confirmation from Sucker Punch, the game's pre-purchase page on Steam has been restricted for 177 countries that don't support PSN. People who have already pre-purchased the game in one of the 177 countries before Sony made the news have been refunded. This is coming right after the bitter aftertaste that Helldivers 2 left behind, with the massive review bombs that led Sony to backtrack on the PSN requirement for the game. Suffice to say, we may see another review bomb on Steam yet again in protest of PSN requirements, which may negatively impact the sales of this highly anticipated launch. Whether a PSN requirement becomes a recurring trend for Sony titles is for now a complete mystery. In other news, Bandai Namco had an announcement for Elden Ring. In the latest news for Elden Ring announced by Bandai Namco US, a video contest is opening up that will have an impressive prize. A life-size statue of Mesmer the Impaler reaching 3 meters in height, along with other prizes. Specifically, they challenged fans to create their own Elden Ring trailer to commemorate their gaming experience in a grand way. The video must not exceed 5 minutes and must be uploaded to the internet before June 2nd, 2024. However, the contest announcement came with a caveat, as it's only exclusive to residents of the United States. Those living in the USA who wish to participate can upload their video to platforms such as YouTube, Vimeo, or Twitter, and then share the link to their creation on the official website. In addition to the Mesmer statue, there will be other prizes to be distributed in various categories in the contest. For example, videos with the best narrative, best action, or the best direction will win a life-size replica of Millennia's prosthetic arm. Videos with the best comedy, the best use of sound, the best armor design, or the most original use of Elden Ring content will receive a replica of Mesmer the Impaler's helmet. This helmet is a 1-to-1 limited edition replica of the one the character wears in the game, weighing 4 kilograms, made with the highest quality materials, and manufactured by Pure Arts. Even if you don't live in the United States, you will be able to purchase this collector's item in Bandai Namco's digital store. Shadow of the Erdtree will be released on June 21st for PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. And Hidetaka Miyazaki himself has confirmed that this will be the one and only DLC planned for Elden Ring. Next up for the news of the week, we have some news about Hades 2. Hades 2 is now officially available on the Steam and Epic Store in an early access format. And if the news catches you by surprise, don't worry. That's because Supergiant Games hasn't announced anything about it to the public. The highly anticipated roguelike comes with a price tag of $29.99, without giving people the opportunity to pre-order it at their convenience, and has turned out so well that it managed to take the top spot in Steam's bestseller list. Unfortunately, Valve's API only organizes its best-selling games based on the amount of money they are earning, and are not transparent about the number of copies sold. So we don't know how many have actually bought the game since the early hours of Hades 2 life, but according to this metric, we do know that it's generating even more revenue than titans like Counter-Strike 2 or Dota 2. The first game has also been revived in recent weeks, especially in the last few days, because it's currently 66% off until May 13th on Steam. By the beginning of May, Hades had an average of close to 7,000 simultaneous players, and in the few hours after early access, it surpassed 23,500. Hades 2 will remain in early access until at least the end of 2024, as Supergiant Games considers it beneficial for the final product to take into account players' feedback. Next in the news of the week, we have Microsoft announcing the closure of some studios. At the beginning of this year, Microsoft laid off 1,900 people at Xbox and Activision Blizzard. Many people believed that that was it, but Microsoft has just announced the closure of several Bethesda studios, including Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks. The news came via an email from Xbox Game Studios, announcing changes for the reprioritization of titles and resources. This involves the closure of Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Games, Tango Gameworks, and Roundhouse Studios, which will be absorbed by ZeniMax Online Studios. It's currently unknown how many people will lose their jobs. The announcement generated strong criticism on social media. Dinga Bakaba, head of the surviving Arcane Lion division, strongly criticized Microsoft. Redfall, Arcane Austin's latest game, will no longer receive updates, and players who pre-purchased the game's future DLC will receive a refund. Tango Gameworks had just celebrated its 14th anniversary. Their latest release, Hi-Fi Rush, was one of the studio's most successful titles. Matt Booty, the head of Xbox Game Studios, explained, "We are making these tough decisions to increase investments in other parts of our portfolio, and focus on our priority games." Bethesda Game Studios, ID Software, and Machine Games are not affected. The video game industry grew by 2.6% in 2023, reaching a turnover of $93.5 billion worldwide. This situation raises doubts because many game releases in May are eagerly awaited. Next, we have some news about Pathfinder's final DLC. The developer Owlcat Games has announced the latest DLC for its CRPG Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. A Dance of Masks will be the 6th and final DLC, arriving on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC via Steam, Epic Games Store, as well as macOS on June 13, 2024. It will be available for purchase as standalone content or as a part of the game's second season pass. In this new DLC, players will gather the companions of the Commander Knight as they return to the rebuilt city of Kinabras to celebrate their victories. Amidst socializing with friends and loved ones, they must also thwart a plot by villains seeking to spoil the celebrations. A Dance of Masks will include a new enemy fortress, personal events for each companion, a new romantic event for all love interests, an arena where players battle powerful enemies, 11 new character archetypes, and a new weapon that could be used with 1 or 2 hands. As aforementioned, the DLC will be released on June 13, 2024, so if that sounds interesting to you or you want to get into Pathfinder, mark your calendars. Next, we have some news about V Rising concluding its early access. V Rising was launched way back in 2022, quickly becoming a viral phenomenon that captivated a wide variety of users from the get-go. Since then, the developers Stunlock Studios have released numerous updates, with most being well received by the community. Now, the game has finally been officially released. You can now access the full version of V Rising on PC via Steam, and during the first few days after launch, you can purchase it with a 10% discount. It's also worth noting that new bosses and other elements have been added to the title for the official release, and players will be able to keep all the progress made during the period when the title was in early access. If you're a PlayStation player, you can rest assured that V Rising will be arriving on PS5 quite soon on May 17th, so you won't have to wait too long. According to information from Steam database, V Rising has been a real success upon its release. It hasn't managed to surpass its own record that it set a couple of years ago when its early access launched, but in the past few hours, it has managed to have tens of thousands of users at all times, which is quite an achievement. Stunlock Studios has confirmed that they managed to sell 4 million copies of V Rising during the early access period, which is an amazing success for a large indie game like this. Next up, we have some news about Destiny 2. The developer studio Bungie confirmed that Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and the Witch Queen will be available to users who own the base version of the game for free. Through the expansion Open Access Month, players will be able to download expansions of the game for free. In this way, fans who own the base version of Destiny 2 will be able to access the 3 campaigns, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and the Witch Queen for completely free, from May 8th to June 3rd. This gives the community 3 years of content to enjoy at no additional cost. Additionally, subscribers to PlayStation Plus can also download Destiny 2 Lightfall, the latest expansion of the game, for free. This downloadable expansion pack includes all the content from the game's Year 6 season, so players will have access to all the elements of Season of Defiance, Season of the Deep, Season of the Witch, and Season of the Wish. Another important detail is that users will retain all the equipment they obtain, even if they ultimately do not purchase the expansions after the month of free trials end. Bungie is seeking to incentivize users and prepare the ground before the arrival of Destiny 2 The Final Shape, the expansion that will introduce the first new enemy faction since 2018 called the Dread. This revelation changes the paradigm and renews part of the mythology of Destiny, giving a fresh air to a franchise that is soon celebrating its 10th anniversary since the launch of the original game. Next up is some news about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Bloodstained, the Metroidvania developed by 505 Games, will soon receive a new free and premium DLC, including a crossover with a fan-favorite platformer Shantae. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a gothic action role-playing and horror side-scrolling game set in 19th century England. A supernatural force has summoned a demon-infested castle, revealing crystal shards imbued with immense magical power. You play as Miriam, an orphan afflicted by the curse of an alchemist that slowly crystallizes her body. To save humanity and herself in the process, Miriam must navigate through the castle and defeat the summoner Gebel. The Shantae DLC pack is free, and the other 3 DLC packs are premium content which must be purchased in the store. The cosmetic DLC packs include the Succubus Vampiric Pack, the Magical Girl Pack, and the Japanesque Pack, each featuring different weapons, costumes, and accessories. We also get 2 new gameplay modes as an additional benefit. The first new gameplay mode, called Chaos Mode, sends players into a series of random rooms filled with demons and challenges you to survive, while Versus Mode is a fast-paced PvP mode against another player who's in the fight to survive. Online functionality for Chaos and Counterattack mode also allows players to engage in cooperative and multiplayer PvP. If you're playing on PC, everything is already available, while the Nintendo Switch versions will be available in Europe and America on May 16th, followed by May 20th in Japan and Asia. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is available on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. Last up for the news of the week, we have the Rogue Prince of Persia delaying the release of its early access. Just a month after its announcement, Ubisoft has decided to delay the release of the Rogue Prince of Persia, a game developed by Evil Empire based on the fan-favorite franchise. The title was scheduled to start its early access this Tuesday, May 14th, but will be delayed a few days. The reason for the delay is not caused by development issues, but rather based on the recent and unexpected release of Hades 2 in early access, which managed to become the top-selling game on Steam on launch. In Evil Empire's words, seeing that everyone and their mothers are playing that game, including our entire team, and their mothers, we've decided to let people have fun before launching the Rogue Prince of Persia. In this way, although the developer has full confidence in its title, not every day a game of the same genre of yours, which is one of the most anticipated upcoming games of 2024, is released in early access a week earlier than planned. The new Prince of Persia is defined as one of the most interesting games of the year, through a frenetic, devilish, and accessible roguelite experience, as acrobatic techniques are mastered and you seamlessly switch between combat and platforming. The player must find weapons, use talismans with special effects, and upgrade them to configure their character as they wish while trying to find a way to save Persia from the invasion of the Huns. For now, the title is only arriving on PC, but it does look very promising. So that's about it for this week's news. If you're interested in supporting the channel, be sure to leave a comment, let us know what you think about all the news, and check out our VIP subscription on the website for some exclusive supporter benefits. We will be seeing you next week.